What's going on, folks? It's your boy Tiny. I got something to say. And it's bothering me. Now, before I say what I want to say, I must preface this by saying this is about a TV show. This is about two TV shows, actually. And if you haven't watched Lost, if you haven't watched the show From on MGM Plus, Apple TV, or wherever it's streaming for real, or Amazon Prime Video, if you haven't watched either of those shows, you might as well not watch this video. I'm going to give you a second to stop watching this video. You have my permission to stop watching this video if you have not seen Lost or From. Okay, so now that we got the people that have at least watched Lost or From, if you've watched Lost and you haven't watched From, or you watched From and haven't watched Lost, join those people from the beginning of the video. Just leave. I got something to say. From is a show from the creators of, or the executive producers of, Lost. Now, if you don't know anything about the show Lost, it will forever go down in the history, in my least favorite shows. Not because it was a bad show. In totality, the show Lost was a great show. It just ended in a way that pissed me off royally. It had all the elements needed for action, thriller, suspense, even hints of horror until some things were unearthed. But what I know about the world in my 39 years is that there is nothing new under the sun. From is almost a carbon copy of Lost. Now, I'm making this video having finished season 1, about to start season 2, and season 3 is about to air on the 22nd. Start airing on the 22nd. The show the show's good. The show's good, but knowing what I know about Lost and knowing what I know from the executive producer, the creators of, or whoever was involved with Lost is now involved with From, this show is a carbon copy. Think about the very first episode of Lost. The very first few episodes of Lost. There were a group of seemingly random strangers forced into a location with an unknown entity keeping them in this location. Think about the season 1 of From. There is an unknown entity or entities keeping these people from leaving this town. You try to leave the town, you speed down the highway, you're back in the town. Right? Okay, so in Lost, there was an entity that shook the trees, made a loud noise. I thought it was a prehistoric thing. I thought it was dinosaurs, aliens, whatever have you. And it ended up being they were in heaven, met up in a place in the I guess ether realm, nether realm. I don't fucking know. They were in the in between, in a purgatory style in between, on the way to heaven. My theory for From is that they are in this purgatory in between, on the way or already in hell. Now, I say that having, again, finished season 1. Now, at the end of season 1, there was a voice they heard on the radio for From. They heard it on the radio. Before they weren't getting no static. Now they're getting static. They get on the radio. They hear a voice. They hear the voice say what it says. And the next thing you know, the voice ain't really what we thought it was. From. That's From. Lost. They tried to get out via the water. Nobody knew how to make a damn boat to save their life. And every time they tried to get off the island, The weather would go bad. They would try to get off in the water. They didn't know which way they was going. They would try to get off in the water. Something would go wrong where the boat would crash, or the person would die, or they ended up on a submarine and ended up back on the island somehow, whatever. They tried to go up the mountain, tried to go in the island. They found a bunker. They found all of this shit that was keeping them on the island. They done ventured out as far as they could go, but they got to get home before the sun go down. Why? Because these demon entities are ripping them to shreds. I think they are demon dogs, demon hellhounds that are manipulating these people's minds into thinking that they're already past loved ones, and this corrupting them. As soon as they are allowed entry, much like a vampire, as soon as you allow them entry, whether you have a talisman or not, as soon as you're allowed entry, they rip you to shreds. There's blood and guts everywhere. They're not eating these people because they're leaving most of the entrails sprawled out in a room. These people seemingly on Lost made it off of that island, and everything in their life went to shit after leaving that island when they finally got off the island. So they all had to go back, or they all had to go meet somewhere. It's this show From is almost a carbon copy 20 something years later. And I don't like it, but I'm going to keep watching it. And I'm trying to watch it with the same eyes as it's a new show. It's a new show in my repertoire. It's a new show, something to check out, good thing to watch, something to kill time while I'm at work, whatever. But I can't help but think in the back of my mind, they are in hell. The moment we thought it was a prehistoric creature and Lost, it wasn't. It was a demon entity keeping them in, keeping them together, rather. And anytime somebody died, they didn't really die. We ended up seeing them at the end, I think. I can't remember because I tried to put that show out of my mind. But From, people are dying and they're being ripped to shit. Again, I'm just now finishing season 1, but my theory still stands. They either in hell. I don't think it has to do with aliens, but I really feel like they in hell. I feel like this is a show not connected to Lost, but connected in the way things are laid out. There's nothing new under the sun. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Lost had, 8, 9 seasons, however many seasons? I binged the shit out of that show. I'm talking about staying up late nights, phone glued to my face. I can't put it down. It was great. But now knowing what I know about Lost and trying to watch From is like, you got the token black person, you got the quote unquote leader, you got the couple, whether they be together or not. They found love in a hopeless place. Then you got the other couple who was together when the plane landed, and they working on their past, working on their history, and this, that, and the third. It's between Lost, Manifest, which was better, kind of, but not really, because Manifest was damn near a whole carbon copy in itself. But Lost, From, and now Manifest. But this video is mainly about Lost and From. But it's a joke. I really hate to have blown it wide open like this, but I just feel like that's it. You can't tell me otherwise until you tell me otherwise. There's one of two things. They aliens, based on what I saw at the end of the first season. They aliens or they demons and they stuck in hell. We know that these are not zombies. These are shape-shifting ghost entities. Sounds to me a little bit like demons. They're able to teleport by jumping in trees and shit. Where do the trees in the woods take you? Back to the fucking village. This is Lost all over again. And I don't care what nobody say in the comments. Nah, it's a great show. No, it is. It's probably good. But either you forgot Lost or you forgot Lost, or you just not. You remember Lost, but you think, oh, that was a great show back in the day, back in the CBS days or whatever channel it was on during that Survivor shit. But whole time, Lost ended up being trash to me. I cussed my frat brother and his wife out a little bit because the whole time, that whole show, spoiler alert, that whole show was about them being dead, meeting up in the afterlife. The whole time they was dead. They never survived that crash. Never. But they didn't know each other. Because the way the souls were separated from the body, they didn't remember that they was on that plane with them people. They was meeting all these people for the first time, allegedly. I think it's the same way. Each one of these people in From that has explained their backstory thus far has experienced a form of trauma. And they asked a question in episode 7 or 8. The chick, the wife, she asked a question in From. She said, any question, right? We can ask any question. Let's write it on the wall. She wrote on the wall, did we survive the crash? I don't think they even crashed. They were going through something and saw the tree. The Donna and her sister was going through something, but they was hunting, saw the tree. Baby Glenn, that's what I'm going to call him. His name Kenny or some shit. Baby Glenn, though. Because, of course, you got to have an Asian dude, a white dude. You got to have a ginger somewhere in there and a black dude. You got to, and some kids to make it creepy. You got to have all this shit in there. Speaking of kids, didn't somebody in Lost, weren't they pregnant when the plane crashed? Did she give birth to that baby? I don't remember. The whole time, From, they're the same shit. Can't convince me otherwise until you convince me otherwise. Then you got Sheriff with the clairvoyant weird bitch who they in the woods and they see this loud ass, hear this loud ass. That is nothing but what was that movie back in the day? With Dreyfus in it back in the day. Like, come on, bro, with the bright lights and shit. Then they find out it's a lighthouse. So are they on an island or? Either way, it's fucking with their mental. It's fucking with their spirit. It's really testing their emotional boundaries. It's testing them. That's why I feel like it's hell. The sheriff was in that village. He created order, but he killed his wife. And all he keep hearing is his wife. Well, no, all the clairvoyant chick is hearing in the woods is the voice of the wife. But they using that to manipulate him through her. It's a fucking joke. It's all the same. From is Lost. Look it up.